Hi, it's Ruby the Realtor, the Texas Queen of Real Estate. Today, I want to take a moment to answer a few common questions that I get from buyers and sellers. Well, that's definitely a great question. So, one of the things I tell clients that are selling properties is that one, you never know how long that particular buyer has been out there on the market. And it could just be that that buyer has been looking for a while and you're just coming on the market. So now you're getting an offer pretty quickly into the process. And a lot of times when people get an offer quickly, they start to question, did I price it too low? No, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes it just means that it was priced exactly where it needed to be for that right buyer to come along at that moment. And in regards to continuing to see if you can still accept other offers, you can continue to show. We do have a status that is pending continue to show, and you can still show the property and accept additional offers. However, even if you get a cash offer that's full price, over what you've accepted, you still cannot move forward unless the buyer cancels their contract or defaults in one way. So while it is a good idea to continue showing so that you can have backup offers, like the likelihood that the current contract that you have will close. Really, it depends on what they didn't disclose. Was it a defect that they absolutely did know was in existence, and we can prove that they knew about this defect prior to having filled out the disclosure? Or is it something that happened maybe behind a wall that they could not have possibly known was there because the wall hadn't been opened up? Or something that's happened throughout the transaction and just was never caught. So really, that it's kind of a deep question because it does go a little bit further than should they have disclosed it. It really has to be, did they not disclose it? Did they know about it? Did they hide it? That's really what's going to make a difference. So definitely on a question like that, it would be on a case-by-case basis, and we would address that between us as representing the buyer and going over to the seller's agent and the seller to see what it is that they know about that problem. If the buyer's financing has fallen through and they are not able to obtain financing in some other way, then yes, you will be able to walk away because the buyer will not be able to purchase the property. And so really it depends on, again, everything, and the contract, a lot of it is going to stay in the buyer's court when it comes to obtaining that financing. So the question is, their financing did not go through. Are they taking action to either come up with the cash funds? Are they taking action to get the financing in order, get a co-signer, put more money down, or whatever the situation may be in order to proceed with closing the property on the closing date? Or is it just a no-go and they're not able to move forward? And if it's a no-go, they're just not able to move forward, then yes, at that point, the contract will be terminated. So we have two questions here, one about the inspection, one about the appraisal. When it comes to the inspection, you do go into unless you are purchasing a new construction home, the probability is that you are going to find things on the inspection as far as defects on the property. Some defects are going to be normal wear and tear. Others are going to be more high dollar things, and those are really the things that you're looking for on an inspection. Once you do an inspection, you just have to decide, would I like to negotiate to either get the seller to pay to fix some of those things, or get money in order to be able to fix it after closing? Are they too much to handle and I don't want to move forward with the contract? Or can I fix it after closing myself and I'd rather just go ahead and move forward? Really, again, these are three different scenarios that we would take on a case-by-case basis depending on what the repairs entail. Now, so ultimately, if you decide that you don't want to move forward based on what you found in the inspection report, then you will have what is called your option period in which you will be able to cancel the contract. Now, when it comes to the appraisal, it is also a very common question that I get is, what happens if the house isn't appraised for what I'm willing to pay for it? In that situation, we do have a couple of options. Really, the seller can lower the price. The buyer can bring the difference between sales price and appraisal price, or they can meet in the middle and say, hey, seller's willing to come down off the price this much and buyer's willing to bring cash to closing this month. Or if we cannot come to agreement, then yes, the buyer can walk away without penalty. Typically, it is recommended that we talk to the seller at that point once the house does not appraise and kind of decide what is the next course of action, what is the game plan, or how are we going to move forward. And really, it also depends on how much do you like the property. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that these questions were helpful. Should you have any additional questions about buying or selling real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is below in this email. I look forward to hearing from you.